This is Anderson Penn's podcast, episode 129 for Tuesday, November 11th, 2014. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Penn's Radio Network.
If you can ink it, we are going to talk about it. Ta-da!
Why did we call it the Radio Network? I haven't done an audio.
You're the one who writes that.
I haven't done an audio podcast in like 2 months.
The TV network.
The TV network?
I don't know what it is.
We're going to figure that out.
Well, you can't say Fountain Pen Network because that's taken. So I don't know what you call it.
Well, we talk about
network?
other things other than fountain pens now.
We talk about ballpoints.
We do occasionally talk about ballpoints and pencils.
If you have to.
If I have to.
Okay.
We have a special announcement.
We do. So hopefully everybody is paying attention.
Okay. Why don't you tell everybody what your special announcement is?
Why don't you do
That
it?
special announcement, fodder in your hands?
I do. All right, so here's the deal. For those of you who were living under a rock, the Noodlers Neponsets came out last week. It was epic. It was so crazy. They came in, they went out. It was busy, and of course, I'm still trying to finish packing. Dave is frantically trying to get everything done. In the middle of it, I have to leave because I have an appointment. So Brian actually...
Bye-bye! She just leaves.
Gotta go!
Gotta go! See you later.
So Brian comes over. He actually clocks out of work. The car is mostly packed, but not completely. And Neponsets come in. We knew that we had a number of requests for Neponsets to be brought to Columbus, and so what we did was we took several out of stock so that we could take some to the show because they would be gone before we even got there. So we brought quite a few to the show. A couple people who had asked about them decided they were either too big or too expensive or just wasn't their thing. So we actually have 2 left. One black.
Yeah.
One black, one walnut. I was not to drop it. So, there is no fair way to do this.
Nope.
Absolutely none. If we put it on the website, all of the people who have, it just wouldn't be fair. There are only 2 pens and a zillion people who still want them. So,
it is fair then to reward those of you who are frequent listeners, viewers of the podcast, to offer them to you first.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do old school radio giveaway tactics here. When you hear the double
ka-ching.
Ka-ching.
Because we couldn't think of anything better to do.
Yeah, it's either that or it's, No? Okay.
So.
All right. So if you hear this noise, then what you have to do is you have to send us an email at, I'm going to put it in the chat here.
sales@andersonpens.net.
And what we will do is then we will send you a PayPal invoice at the end of the show if you would like to purchase one. The first time we do it, we'll give away we'll offer up the walnut. The second time we'll do the black. So.
Yep.
That was about as fair as we can get it, I think.
We've been trying to figure out how to do this for days.
So there it is. At some point. We will do that.
And
there's that. So,
that's it.
we just got back from Columbus, and
yes.
So I guess we have some Columbus stories to talk about. So before we move on, I want to make sure everybody's clear on that. Anybody have any questions? Just shoot a message in the chat.
Columbus was a great show.
Yeah, Yeah, a lot of fun.
It it was busier than I thought it would be, but it never felt slammed. So that was great. We had, let's see, we left Wednesday night. We got in Thursday morning in time to grab our tables. And Thursday is a trading day. You do not have your assigned table. However, we are always in the same place. So we grabbed um, two tables. There weren't that many people there, so we grabbed two tables, including one that we set the ink up on because there's no way we could take that down and move that. So it's always our goal. We last year somebody was in that spot, and we actually asked them to move just one over so that we could set up the ink grid because that's such such a rough setup.
Yeah, it's tough. So
But we got in. It was great, and we had a good Thursday.
yeah,
My
Thursday was
goal
good.
is always to be set up and to maybe make some sales before Brian spends all the money at the auction Thursday night.
Well, and you know, we got there relatively early, um, and we were pretty tired. So by the time the end of the day showed, we came around, and of course there wasn't a preview up on the website this year, so we didn't have any idea what was going on. So
It was
um,
killing him.
it's killing me, yeah. And then I keep going. Okay, well, I'm just gonna go check it out. No, you're not. No, you're not.
No,
Um,
no, not
and
happening.
we finally got the auction list, and I looked through it, and there were a couple pens that I was interested in, but I was just so doggone tired by the time um, by the time 7 o'clock rolled around, or actually it was by the time the show ended at what 5 on Thursday.
I don't know, but we were dog tired.
Yeah, so I decided, you know what, I would rather not go and just go back and go to sleep and get rested up for Friday. So we did that. We skipped the auction. The first auction I have skipped in years,
It was
um,
great.
but it was it was nice to. I think we were in bed by 8 o'clock. We're out. So
Yeah, passed out, comatose. It was lovely.
yeah.
Um,
So
Friday came around and we were mostly set up. We still had to set up three more tables, but that didn't take all that long. And Friday was pretty brisk,
yeah, and
trading and selling.
yeah, and you've got most of your dealers are there on Friday. So you're nearing complete setup for both ballrooms. So. I would say I don't know why they didn't do this before, but on Friday, I don't know if you noticed, they had the side door to the large ballroom open.
I did. It was much easier to pop in and out.
So I thought that was kind of nice. You could just pop in there by Bruce Mindrup and hang a left and go straight in, and there was Jimmy right on the right, and Joel and Cheryl right there. So, but they closed that down. I suppose it was too tight of an opening for the other public days, but
Probably.
yeah. So
So.
it was nice. What happened on excuse me, on Friday? Anything of note that we should mention?
Friday morning, I had this ungodly early meeting,
Oh, see, I just blocked that out of my mind.
and I use that in the kindest way possible. Ron, my at Friday morning, I was still president of the PCA. Um, Ron was my vice president. He was going to be president. He wanted a 6:30, that's a.m., folks, breakfast meeting. So that was the other part of why we went to bed so early. And we were in the restaurant at 6:30. It was painful.
That was brutal,
It
brutal.
was
And then of
brutal.
course, I had to eat by myself because I'm not part of the
Oh,
cool
I'm
kids group.
sorry. You
Um,
you are Mr. Cool.
not part
But
of the cool
we had
kids.
our meeting. I am no longer PCA president. We need to have some kind of heaven. So, and There's a pastor in the chat who says it was worse than ungodly, so it was pretty darn early. Just because Ron and Janet get up at like 4 in the morning doesn't mean the rest of us want to get up that early.
No.
But it was nice. We had a very productive meeting, and we also prepped for the Friday night meeting, which was awesome.
Well, now you can't skip the whole show and go straight to the end.
The whole show was great. Friday was a good day. Didn't you buy something? You bought a bunch of pens.
I did. This. Bunch of pens.
See, relatively speaking, that's a small baggie.
It is a small bag. About 20 pens or so we got on Saturday. So, but I mean, I was walking around and I was taking care of some business. I had some repairs to pick up, repairs to drop off, and on my way out, I'm just kind of making a quick tour around, and I see one of these. At pen shows, sometimes you see buckets, and some people they have like $5 each, $10, 3 for $100, 4 for $200, whatever, and they have deals, and so you got all these buckets, and I'm like, I can't help it. I have to go and I have to look through them, and sure enough, I see Esterbrook's in there, and I'm digging through, and then I realize I have no money in my pocket, and this is on the complete other end of the ballroom, so I have to walk through the large ballroom, down the hall, around the corner, back into the room, and get some money. So Lisa hands me some money, and then I go back, and then I go through, and I'm starting, and I didn't even count, right? So I'm picking out pens, and I'm looking, and then I pick out 3 from the 3 for $100 basket, and I look at it, and okay, I'm done. I'm going to check out. I count them out, $210. I have $200 in my pocket, and so this is where negotiating comes in. Will you take 200? And no, I got to get that extra $10. Down the hallway, around the corner, through the big room, get the extra $10 all the way back. My Fitbit had really great stats for Friday, let me tell you that. So.
Yeah. Great. It was awesome. Now, here you go, folks. Thursday night, we went to, where'd we go? Fridays?
Chili's. Thursday we went to Fridays. No.
Thursday we went to Chili's for dinner. It was quite lovely. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, well, they had the what we were supposed to get in Dallas, and I can never remember not the dumplings, but the egg rolls.
The Southwest egg rolls.
Southwest egg rolls.
They were actually very good in Columbus.
Except that they didn't have like a salsa to dip it in.
No, it was ranch.
And I don't do ranch, but I wanted salsa. But the waitress just keeps never. Yeah, so I just decided to bear with it, and I did it without sauce. But that was good. Yeah, it's your standard Chili's food, I guess.
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine. We wanted something kind of no fuss, easy, well known. So that was fine.
We should also mention what Friday was. It was
Friday was pizza party.
Well, Friday was National Fountain Pen Day.
Oh, that's right. Oh, duh. Well, we were busy playing with fountain pens all day.
Actually, I did buy myself a fountain pen on Fountain Pen Day. So
What'd you buy?
It's not National Fountain Pen. It's Fountain Pen Day. Well, one of the pens that I got in those bins, I kept for myself.
Oh, that's right.
So, and yes, it does have a nib.
Get out.
It is the cutest and little thing, and by little I mean little. Look how tiny this is. This is the More Midget. It's actually called the More Midget. It's a safety pen. It's got a very cool chasing pattern, just kind of a checkerboard pattern like a lot of the Moors do. It's got a nice little gold derby on top of the cap with the ring top. And then, of course, you unscrew it. And then with all more safeties, you hold and you push up for the nib to come out. And this thing is tiny. This is, I have to be careful how I say this here. This
Where's Eric when we need him?
this pen is 3 3/4 inches long, capped, and about
It's sweet.
it's tiny, and it's got a little more nib. You can see it here. So, and then of course to pull it back, and it's an eyedropper. So it's eyedropper, so you should hold it straight out. But anyway, so that was my fountain pen day purchase. The more midget safety, because why not?
Why not?
So, and what else did we had? We had a visit from Bob Everett on Friday, wasn't it Friday?
Yes.
To celebrate fountain pen day. Bob brought off something that was very near and dear to our heart.
Oh, it was awesome.
That we actually did we actually bid on it last year?
We did not, because we wanted the one that we had, and this one at that time was broken.
Yes.
It was
So
chipped.
actually, the pictures of it are still up on the website. But last year, of course, we bid on and won the large Schaefer wedding couple statue, and the other, which was at Bert Heiserman's store, and the other statue that they had at the auction, also from Bert's store, was the Mother's Day. So it's the son giving the mother a Schaefer pen for Mother's Day, and these are big statues. I don't remember how tall they are, 18 inches maybe. Heavy things. And so Bob won that last year, and he was literally 2 seats away from us. And
I think he was just focused.
well, yeah,
And
you get
when,
laser, you get tunnel vision at the auction, and you don't.
and he didn't realize until we had gotten to a certain point on the bidding for the wedding couple, and I like groaned. I was like, ah, I kind of was frustrated. And he looked over, and he said, "Oh my God, is that you guys?" And he's like, I'm done. I'll stop. Can I take it back?
Very,
Like
very
back it up
public
a little.
collusion, right? Um,
And so we won it. But then he since then he has had the other statue repaired, and he has decided to let it go. So we brought it home. He sold it to us, and we brought it home. And he has a third one, or second for him, third for us, that he is having restored, and he's going to sell that to us in Philly or
Philly in January, yeah. So I don't know which one that is. Did he say which one it is?
He did.
And you don't remember what it is, or
I
you're not
don't
telling me?
remember. I don't remember. I know he said, but
Oh, these are really neat statues, though. They're very unusual, very hard to find. They almost never come up for sale.
No, I don't know that I'd ever seen one. Of course, I hadn't really looked, but
Yeah, I mean, and they're next to impossible. You wouldn't ship these things. They're so fragile. Um,
yeah,
they're a heavy ceramic base, and they're just really
they're nice.
very heavy.
Like plaster or something.
Yep.
So there
Plaster.
you go.
That's all. Anyway, so we got that. That was. I guess that we attribute that to your fountain pen day
There you go.
item.
I don't think I got any pens this trip, did I?
I don't think you did.
Well, I certainly made out like a bandit in Denver and
Yeah,
Detroit.
like a bandit.
I did. Just saying. I got some awesome pens. In fact, I have a couple on my desk here. Look at that.
Oh, you do. Well, now, did we have those last
Remember
time?
that one? Well, we had this last time.
Oh, you didn't show that though. We didn't have it with us.
Oh.
It was at the store.
Oh, well, here you go. This is what I got in Denver.
Denver, 1965, I think it is.
I think so.
1965, Vanishing Point. Is it say Pilot or Namiki? Some people get all bent out of shape over whether it's
Pilot.
or Namiki.
Pilot. So anyway, we got that. When did I get my Aurora?
Your Aurora we got in Detroit.
The green Aurora?
Yeah, I think we got that in Detroit.
The one that matches the sailor we sold
Oh, hang
that
on.
we didn't want to sell?
Hold that up again. Yeah, you really can't tell.
Yeah. Anyway. So anyway, I I'm sure there was something else that I got. Oh, in Denver, I got this really cool blue prairie that they don't import into the U.S. Um, traded for that, and I'm sure there was something else. So Columbus was Brian's time
My time to shine.
time to shine. So, what else did you get?
Well, actually, that was Friday. Was Friday the day, or was it Thursday that Marv? I forget what Marv's last name is. Marv
Stone.
Stone,
Marvin
who's right next
Stone.
to us, and he's
I
friends
don't
with.
like him. There you go. Who is it? Was it Jonathan or Wayne who says it's a really short podcast if we talk about people I don't like? No, this guy's awesome. He's super sweet, but oh, talk about temptation.
Yeah, so he's good friends with
Doug Burke.
Doug Burke. Yep, and they were like right down the aisle from us, and all of a sudden I see Marv pulling. Marv's got all sorts of stuff. I mean, he has like not even like stuff that's not even fountain pen related. He's just trying to. It's like a garage sale. Some of this stuff. Like
Garage
a
sale,
little.
Marv.
What's that?
Nice stuff. I said.
Well, yeah, it
garage
was nice
sale.
stuff, but you know, it was some of it was like there was a little bird in a cage, and you know, I mean, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I see him pulling out. He had an engraving machine, but it was a European plug, and then he had a pile of books. He starts pulling out. Now, when you see,
Oh, we're suckers for books.
yeah, but you know, when you see books at a pen show, I mean, there's a lot of books that were made like years ago, and you can't get them anymore. They're out of print, obviously, and there's some really good stuff in there. I mean, there's articles written in some magazines. You know, these people are no longer with us, but these books. I mean, you know, so when they come up, you have to buy them.
We're suckers.
And we're suckers. And he goes over, and I'm like, okay. I look through them. I got that one. I got that one. I got that one. I got that one. Oh, this one I don't have. Pull it out. So this is interesting. Let's see if I can pull it out here. The Mont Blanc Diary and Collector's Guide. So, 1993. Nice book. It's got some nice history about Mont Blanc in it. Let me show you what else we got. And I just ended up buying the whole stack of books. Right?
Yes, he did.
Limited edition. Fischler and Schneider. Fountain pens, Golden Age of Writing Instruments.
Those are beautiful.
And then there was a second one, the Book of Fountain Pens, also a Fischler and Schneider book. Nice, heavy covers, limited edition, signed by the authors. Really nice. I just couldn't help myself, so I bought them all. Friday, Marv comes over, and Marv's got a big banker's box full of, I don't even know what's in there, Pen Fanciers magazines.
Yes, this is amazing.
What else was in there? I can't remember.
I think it was all just pen fanciers.
It's all Pen Fanciers magazines. These were in the 80s. This was.
These are so hard to find.
Yeah, and hard to find. Excellent articles in them. I pulled the top one off the pile this morning, and there's an entire 1908 AA Waterman catalog.
Oh, I know. He was drooling all over it.
Like right there, I think it was 1908. Right there in the magazine. So there's a whole box. And I said, no, I don't think so. Friday comes, he just walks over to the table, he sets it down in front. He says, hang on, I'll be right back. He goes back to his table.
Me.
Yeah, he comes back with two or three strung piles of old Pen Worlds and other magazines. I don't even know what's in there. And drops those on, goes back, gets another two, says, here you go.
It's this huge pile, and
pile.
All I'm thinking is, where am I going to fit this? And the day before, it was a certain amount of money, and then just for the banker's box. That day, it was less money for the banker's box and these huge stacks of magazines. And Brian starts to hem and haw, And he's like,
I'm
no.
thinking the first thing I'm thinking is you're gonna kill me because this kind of stuff is, it's heavy, it's bulky, it's, you got to displace. The car was pretty well packed. We don't have room for it unless we sell a lot of
Leave
eggs. It
something.
leaves
Yeah.
a kidney behind or something. I don't know. And I'm just like, well, I don't, And Lisa goes, yeah, okay. It just hands him the money.
There are books and magazines. You can't turn this down.
Oh man,
Oh, sucker. I'm just a sucker. But they're gorgeous books, and the books were earlier, but the magazines, you can't find
you
these.
can't find them.
And
Yeah,
we have intentionally collected over the years as many of these as we can find, um, because they are amazing resources. And so this winter, our project,
just to
you
read them
know,
all in a weekend.
is to sort through. We did sort through a lot of them, I guess over the summer. Not too long ago.
Yeah. A couple months ago, we kind of started to sort through them, but
Yep.
we don't have enough room in the basement to lay them all out.
So we're slowly sorting through them to see what we have, fill in any gaps, and then we will be letting some of the duplicates go. And when we do, I'm telling you, you want to grab these. These are amazing, amazing resources. And Fountain Pen Fanciers has been gone for a long time. I know we've got some stylus magazines, we've got some stylophiles magazines, we've got old pen worlds and old pennants, that are a decade old that are very, very hard to find.
Yeah.
So
Cool stuff. There's some really, and then they have a lot of vintage ads in there too, so you can glean a lot of information off of what model number this, Waterman was back in '43 or whatever. So it was real neat. So we got that, and we didn't see Marv again, thankfully.
because he sold everything, he was done.
The man's he's got an amazing collection though too. We sat down and we talked in Chicago this year, and he has a really great Conklin collection. So, but anyway.
Let's see, Saturday. So Friday night was the
Well, Friday night, yeah, pizza party.
Friday night was the pizza party. Now, Sam and Frank of Pendemonium have been doing this for over a decade.
Yeah.
I think forever. And I don't know why, but they have decided to give it up. And so a couple different people have joined together to do it, which just goes to show you how awesome Sam and Frank are. It took just two of them and a bunch of other people to do what they do. But the pizza party was fine. Pizza, sodas, water, it was great. And free food at a show is always a beautiful thing. And then
it was good.
After that was the PCA general meeting, and we had a good time because I got to introduce Ron as the new president, which means I'm not president. How about some applause?
You want some applause for that? I'm sorry.
I do.
There we go.
So that was fine. It was good. We've got a lot of things that the last 3 years we've started, and Ron's going to continue. He's got some great plans. It's going to be wonderful. So I'm very excited.
Got a lively meeting.
Yep. And then we left and went to bed.
Yep. So
Saturday's the busy day.
Saturday's the big day, and
Stuff shows up.
Yeah, I totally forget. And who all of a sudden stands there, and she's cute as a button too, because she's got donuts in one hand and a thing of coffee in the other.
We love you, Steph.
I know. It was just I was beyond myself.
I got to tell you, the coffee thing still has me going. It's this, the box of wine that you get like in the grocery store. Well, it's this coffee.
I don't ever buy box wine.
this coffee in a pouch that's in a box. So coffee in a box. But then it would have the coolest saddlebags. And so on one side it had cups and I think lids, and the other side had like creamer and sweetener and stuff. But you just hold it by the handle of the box, and these two little saddlebags kind of had an opening that went over this handle. It was so cool. I was just fascinated.
I was just happy
I
to have
just
coffee, so that's all. And the donuts were great, so
It was great.
I don't know where
The
she
donuts
finds.
were killer.
Yeah, I don't know where she finds all these places, but it was awesome to see Steph. And she wasn't behind the table.
I think
Um, are you there? I think I
here
went to sleep.
she was behind the table. What?
Okay, and she's not behind the table like 5 minutes, and she's like stepping up, and I'm like, just because you're here doesn't mean you have to work.
You don't have to work.
So
It was great.
yeah,
Um, and of course, she's like checking things out and starts, making a little pile under the table.
yeah, yeah.
Hey, I want to know if anybody, I don't think anybody captioned that picture of Steph and I.
They did on Instagram,
Okay.
but not
Okay.
on Facebook. Apparently, Facebook is not big on captioning. But let
Yep.
me check. Let me check the old old
It
Instagram
was cute.
account.
We're both just standing there in these like gangsta pose. It was kind of cute. So anyway.
Sass and Savvy was one of them. Paul says Steph and Lisa taking care of business.
There you go.
Chip, nope, none of that here. We got pens though, so.
We had a good time.
Badass pen
It was
geeks.
great.
That's another one, yeah. So.
Anyway.
All right.
So that was
Saturday was
fun,
busy.
and then Saturday was busy, and then the auction Saturday night. Well, first the dessert party, and I need to go public.
Need to go public.
I need to go public, and I need to apologize to Hector, Connie, and Megan because I have been telling them for a long time about this huge poolside, ginormous dessert party. And it wasn't poolside, and it was considerably smaller. And I do apologize. There were no cream puffs.
Yeah, no cream puffs. That was weird. I think there was.
What
I
the
think there
heck?
was some last minute thing.
I think there was. Um, I think that there was an issue. There were a bunch of kids. I think there was some kind of a school group or a church group or something, or just a gang of 13-year-old boys. I'm not sure. And so I believe that they didn't want the kids to be in the pool while the pool party was going on, or something like that. So they moved the dessert party to the lobby in this little room, and it was 1/5 as big as it normally is.
Yeah, it was
There
like
was
2 tables, 1 table.
Yeah, no coffee with all the liquor and the rock candy stirs and the real whipped cream and all the super yummy stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
Hector's right though. We stuffed our faces anyway. There was plenty of food.
there was tons of food. It was beautiful and
Baklava.
delicious. Apparently, Hector was big into the red velvet cake. He's mentioned it a couple times.
Pumpkin pie. There was pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie was good.
Chocolates.
Cherry pie. We did take some pictures of it. Really super yummy stuff. And it was nice, but it was not what I had been bragging about. So I'm sorry. But it was a good time. And then, of course, right after that, you get all sugared up, and then you go. Ooh, I know that sound.
Go ahead.
You get all sugared up, and then you go bid. And I can't remember the last time I completely left Brian unattended, unsupervised at an auction, but I just couldn't do it. And I went back to the room and left Brian with a number, and he knows how to use it. Actually, I left him with Steph, which is both safe and dangerous at the same time.
Oh yeah, yeah. So actually, there wasn't. And again, since I didn't actually have a list or to view them in advance, other than the preview, I didn't get a lot of time to work myself up, but there were two pieces that I was interested in. One was an Aiken Lambert. They're both Aiken Lamberts in jade, and the second one was a lapis version of the same pen. Both lever fillers, obviously. But I'm not much of a lever. I don't collect many of the Aiken Lambert lever fillers, but these are prime examples. And so I bid on and won, and this is another example where tunnel vision, you don't see what's going on. Well, apparently Greg was right behind me, bidding on the same pen. And then and I did win, and here it is. It is gorgeous. It is very, very, very clean. Aiken Lambert, lever filler, in jade. There's only the slightest tiny bit of discoloration is right at the cap, and it may just be ink because there is ink in the inside of the cap. Beautiful. I mean, you can see that. I mean, even Wayne can see that. No discoloration on the threads. It's just, look at that color. You don't ever see that color. Crisp imprint. Perfect. And then after I won, all of a sudden my chair got kicked, and it was Greg kicking my chair because he was mad because I beat on it. The immediate next, the next piece was the lapis piece, and it got up to about $105, and then it stalled, and it was 105 once, 105 twice, and then someone behind me started bidding.
Oh.
And the price kept going up and up and up and up, and it got to a point where I started doing math in my head, and I said, you know what, I just don't know. Hindsight's 20/20, right? And I'm gonna maybe regret it because this is a very rare piece, a lapis, and it was fairly clean. It had some issues. The nib was missing iridium on one tine, and there was some discoloration in the cap, but you don't very often see a lapis Aiken Lambert lever filler. It got up to a couple $100, and I said, you know what, I'm out. And it went to a good home. Hirsch Davis took it home, and
Hirsch got some nice pens, I heard.
He did, yeah. So I sort of regret not going a little bit more, but you know how it is. It's I was happy. I thought the jade was the better of the two. It's not the rarer of the two, but it was the better of the two, and this just means that when I get my lapis, it will be perfect.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So
let's see. After that, Brian came back to the room.
Yeah, you went home, and then I ended up walking back to the hotel.
Sorry.
Chatted with our good friend and fellow Appleton Pen Club member Mike Kirk in the parking lot. It's I don't know. It's not the pen show is not over until you get to the room, and
even then it's not always. Sunday is usually a bit slower. I thought Sunday was pretty brisk.
It was, yeah, it was.
Although it's nice that Sunday starts out slower because you can wander around, you can leave your table, and look at things in the other ballroom even slow. As long as you don't take too long. It's also time to catch up before some of the people who flew in before they have to leave to catch flights. So we saw Louise leave fairly early. He was getting ready to leave. Poor thing, had a horrible time on the way back. But it's a great time. We picked up some new old stock Kawecos that we'll have on the site soon enough. And what else? Yeah, cool things.
Older color combinations.
Let's see. Did we? And we just wandered around and saw a bunch of people.
Wait. I almost forgot. This is sitting in front of me. This right here. I'm trying to get it here. This is a very, very hard to find piece. It's the original packaging with the nib, of course, for the Esterbrook 8440 superfine cartographic map making nib. It's original plastic case. It's a pretty big deal. The problem is I have one of these, and I don't know which one I want to keep. One is better than the other, so We'll keep one and put one up for sale later. So we got that. What else did we get? Books. You got
I
some
don't
ink.
remember.
Oh, ink.
Oh, so we in the small room. Was this on Thursday?
It was on Thursday. Yeah, it was right away.
We were taking a quick walk around the show before it got too busy, and you guys know that we love Presnell Wood.
Oh
We
yeah.
love him.
Yeah,
He's
if you haven't met the man, you need to just. He always has
so
like three
sweet.
tables. Once in a while, he brings his wife. But
Joyce.
Joyce, yeah, and he's the sweetest man.
He's just the sweetest man with the cutest Southern accent, and a little bit of a drawl.
He's got to be
And
what, 80
I
years
saw
old, maybe.
he's getting up there. He's getting up there. He never goes to shows on Sunday. He's a pastor. I'm not sure if he's retired or not. But he doesn't ever work on Sunday. But on his table, I noticed that there was a box of Mont Blanc ink. And I looked, and it was the old-style Mont Blanc Bordeaux. So
Very similar to this right here.
Yes. So I asked him how much it was, and he told me the unbelievably low price, and I ran back to the table, grabbed some money, and ran back before anybody else could even notice it. And it was a full bottle.
I didn't even see it.
Awesome.
And apparently it's going to be my Christmas present. So.
I might let you have it early.
Well, I might actually now ink a pen up with it now because I got bottles of
Oh, you've built up your stash a little bit.
Yeah. So.
And then a good friend of ours, in fact, the man who notarized our marriage certificate back in 2010, he came by and he had a bottle of vintage ink. And then, was it the next day or later that day, he brought over 2 more.
Yep.
So
I'm a sucker for a couple
books and magazines and vintage ink. 1 was vintage Quink and 2 were vintage Parker. Washable brown and washable green.
Quink and Script, you mean? Yep.
Yeah, Quink and Script, sorry, yes. So we were, I was excited to get those. And we ended up trading for 3 bottles of ink for a pen.
Yep.
Very happy.
What else? Let's talk about any interesting things we saw at the show. We usually talk about what's going on, but Mark had the Swan display in the other room. That was really something else.
Sheeman,
yeah. I
don't know.
Sorry, Mark.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
We should know because we were right behind you in Dallas. But he bought pretty much most of the collection of David Moak, and including several large display cases. But he had a nice display of Swan ephemera, statues, displays. Really a cool thing. I mean, you don't, and most of it wasn't for sale. It was just for show, which was really neat. There was that. I know Joel and Cheryl had the most amazing sailor I've ever seen.
Oh, he was drooling over that one, and you guys know we love Sailor.
It was like this, and I didn't see it till the last day, and I was in a hurry, and Cheryl and I were trying to square away a couple things. She owed me something, I owed her something, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and it was like this light tan barrel with mother of pearl abalone. Actually, it was abalone. Like these trees, and Steph's in the chat, so she'll be the first one to say, "Oh, well, it was the Sailor Forest of Light or whatever it was." I mean, it was.
It was cool.
This really gorgeous, and it had this nice wood box, and oh my goodness, it was something else. But the low price of $10.50, I decided to.
You decided to pass. Yes, you
pass
did.
On that one. What else was cool that we saw there? Anything you could think of? Lots of cool stuff.
I got to pick out a free pen.
You did get to pick out a free pen. Well, let's talk about that.
Ron, the new president of the PCA, Ron received
I'm sorry.
A long time ago, a couple months ago, maybe longer, I found a pen in a junk box, and it works fine. It's a cartridge converter pen. And on it, though, it says Boss Man. So I saved it, knowing that I would give it to Ron. I would make this presentation to Ron of a Boss Man pen once he was officially president, and that was fun. And as a, I don't know if you want to call it a consolation prize or a survival present or whatever, the board had given me a pen. So I got to go to Edison Pen and pick out a pen of my choice. And I'm very excited. So I picked it out. It's going to be a custom green Beaumont because that's a good size. And it was pretty awesome. So Brian Gray is not going to tell me when he mails it. It's just going to show up at the store one of these days. So it's cool.
Oh my. Yeah, so that's cool. I can't wait to see. I didn't actually see which green. I know there were a couple greens.
Yep.
I didn't see which one you finally picked out, but
it was pretty green.
It was
like
pretty
clay.
green. Was it like
pretty.
this green?
It was prettier.
It was prettier. Ouch.
Anyway, so I get a free pen, so I guess I did get a pen at the show.
You did get a pen at the show. There we go.
But no, it was all in all, it was a really good show. We got to see a lot of people who we don't see all that often, and it was a great way to end the year. Of the pen show circuit. I'm thrilled, so thrilled to be home for the next 2 months until Philly. So it'll be nice to be home for the holidays, except we came home to snow.
Oh, come on. It was just a little bit.
It was just a little bit, but it means there's going to be more.
Well,
I know. So anyway, we got home, and it's nice to be home, to be in the store. This will be our second holiday season at the store. We've got a lot of great events coming up, and it'll be really pretty.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we should mention Stephanie did get a free pen, sort of. Door prize?
Well, we don't know that Steph got the free pen, so,
she just said something in the chat. I'm assuming that's what she's talking about.
Oh. What'd she say? Yeah. So, Alice won the door prize, only she doesn't really do pens, so I'm guessing that Steph will get the pen.
Yeah. It was kind of neat. It was carbon fiber and Captain Barrel. It was a Shaw pen or a Di Alfonso pen or something like that. So yeah, she says the door prize. So
that's pretty funny.
So anyway, but
we also had some great conversations.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. We talked weird videos. The Trollolol guy.
Stephanie had never heard of Trollolol, so.
Oh my heavens! So she.
Big in these parts.
So we had a good time. But no, the Columbus show is always great. It was the 20th anniversary, but I do have to say, I thought they would make a bigger deal of it.
No. Yeah, it was pretty low key. So maybe the 25th will be.
Maybe. I just thought they'd make 20 years
big deal,
to run a pen show is a huge undertaking. And I guess I thought that maybe there would have been a bigger splash, or maybe we all should have made a bigger deal of it. I don't know. But it was definitely something to commemorate. I mean, 20 years of dealing with all these crazy people.
Yeah.
Well,
Terry hasn't been doing all these years, but Terry does a phenomenal job, and it's really a good show. If you haven't gone, you need to, and you can. You're in the area, you need to go to this show. It's just it's phenomenal. It's like when we go to Columbus now. It's friend after friend coming up the table. It's just a blast. It's just,
it's great. Yeah.
See all our friends. It's fun. So, All right, what else? What else we want to talk about? We kind of move right along. We got a couple minutes
Yep,
left
we
here.
got a couple things going on. Let's see, Noodlers Neponsets. That was the big thing last week.
In
They
and
came
out.
in, they went out, all on the same day. Dave and I and Brian, the three, actually, they came in while I was gone. I was at an appointment, and they were supposed to wait,
No
but
way, man.
there were all these pens, and Brian wanted to be part of the action, so they put them up on the site. And when I came back, the three of us were just pack and ship, pack and ship, pack and ship. It was crazy, crazy busy. And we were just filling up buckets left and right. And apparently, our poor mail lady had to make like a couple trips. I mean, we usually keep her pretty busy, but this was pretty crazy. So that was awesome. But of course, we're still trying to pack the car. We're still trying to make sure that everything is ready for the show. It was epic. Also today we got in the Twisby Red and Green 580s. I believe you have those.
Do have them.
I know you're still thinking about how crazy that was, right?
Oh, I'm thinking about how crazy that was. All right, Twisby 580 colors. A little different than how they were with 540s. These are very similar to Twisby Mini Classics and the new rose gold colored cap and piston knob
And section.
and section. So
Ta-da!
we've got green, which is kind of an interesting. What would you call this? What's a pastel kind of ish green?
It's not really a pastel. It's not. It's definitely not a forest or a hunter green.
It looks like Esterbrook Country Green,
Yeah, kind of.
kind of lightened up, and then red, which is really a nice color, which goes well with the cap. Of course, it's got the red Twisby logo. But yeah, it's a standard 580. Nice looking pen. The green is interesting. It's really you're either gonna love it or hate it, but it's an unusual color. You don't see this color on pens. So anyway, there it is. Jeez. Oh, the chat. So yeah, Twisby's red and green are in, and what else we got? Anything else?
Let's see. Did we talk about the other Sailor Mosaics that came in? I think we
Yeah, we
did.
got mosaics in brown, red, and black. Those are cool.
Mm-hmm.
We also actually the other thing we're going to talk about is it's Veterans Day, right? So
Yes.
thank you to all the veterans out there. Anybody who served for our country in war or peace.
We're grateful.
Yeah.
It's
We
a
wouldn't
huge
be where we
sacrifice.
are with without you. So
Awesome.
what else you got?
Anything else? I've got some
Shout-outs, huh?
shout-outs. I
Go
love
for
them
it.
shout-outs. All right. Hector, Connie, and Megan. There are stalker laws, people. we saw Hector, Megan, and Connie in
They're like
Detroit, and then 2 weeks later, I know they're everywhere. We saw them again in Columbus, so it was great to see you guys. Next year, the dessert party should be back to awesome status.
All right,
It
so
was really good. But
the chat wanted to see the 580s with the caps swapped around. So there you go.
there
Christmas.
you go.
There you go. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah.
That's fine. So Hector, Connie, and Megan, awesome to see you guys again. How's
pictures
Philly for you
online.
guys in January? Yeah.
Yeah.
A shout out to Father Michael. Apparently he listens to us, so he was in Columbus. So shout out to Father Michael.
Awesome.
Big shout out to Tom Bailey, who is also everywhere. We saw him in Atlanta, and between Atlanta which is in April, and the Raleigh show, which is at the end of May, he moved to Raleigh. Now, notice it's Raleigh, not Raleigh. I got it now.
Raleigh.
So we saw him in Raleigh, and then we saw him again in Columbus. So
Did we see
he's
him in
kind of
DC too?
Probably. I don't know. I don't remember. But it was great to see Tom. He's always got great stories. And we got to see Greg. So big hugs to Greg,
Yep.
who, as he puts it, he supported our tables. Ed organized the Denver show. Capizzi, you rock. It was great to see you. Denver show was great. We've been raving about it, telling people to go.
Yep.
So it was good to see Ed. It was good to see Ed more relaxed now that the Denver show is over and he could just play and be an attendee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that was nice for him. Big hugs and a big shout out to Gary, who we only knew from online. So it was great to meet him in person.
He's
That was
like a kid in
wonderful.
a candy store.
Oh my God, he's like totally geeking out over buying some pens, fixing them up. He's having a blast. He's doing it exactly the way you should. You know, he's definitely into the hobby. He's having fun and he's sharing it. So good for you. Let's see, Delee. Always good to see Delee. She is
Yep.
such a trip. She's got some amazing stories. I want to be like sitting in her library reading through her diaries because she's got fascinating, fascinating stories.
And last but not least,
Steph, dude, you rock. She just pops up at the strangest places. So, Steph, it was awesome to see you,
and
as
Alice, of
always,
course.
and Alice, of course. Um, Thanks for the chats. She chilled me out over a couple things, so it was good. Um, Always great to have a new perspective on things. Um, Tons of other people I'm sure that we've forgotten. I try to write them down. It doesn't always happen. I think that I'll remember and then I forget, and I'm so sorry if I skipped over you. So there you go.
All
It
right.
was good to see Tim.
It's good to see who?
Tim Girdler.
Oh yeah.
Worked
Yeah,
on
it was
your
good to see.
pen.
He opened my eyes up to a new way to keep shellac. So that was interesting.
Yeah, Tim, we're going to work on that.
And send me that picture of that thing that you made because I still can't grasp my head around
I
that.
can.
So. Well, good.
There you go. I think that's probably about it.
Well, I guess it wouldn't be complete without giving a shout out to Terry and
Oh,
Ben
of course.
and Matt,
And
May
Becky.
Borders, for the phenomenal job that they do every year for the Ohio Pet Show. So
I don't know how they do it. And still keep their hair and their sanity and their cool. And Terry just makes it look so easy. He's always just unflappable. He just rolls with it. He's just got it handled. Either that or he's got really good meds. But no, Terry's awesome. He's been doing this for so long. He knows what to do. It's been in the same place for so long. And hopefully for him, a lot of that is just kind of status quo at this point. You get the big ballroom, you got the tables in the hallway, you got the small ballroom, you got the pizza party, you've got the auction, and so it's just juggling tables and making sure that everyone who's supposed to be there is, and follow up with people who may have had issues. In fact, was it Saturday? We saw Sam Alardo. He'd had car trouble.
Mm-hmm.
He was staying in our hotel, which is 2 doors down from the show hotel, and couldn't get his car started. So when we walked into the show, I waited for a minute to talk to Terry to let him know that Sam may not be coming, and maybe they know a mechanic or something. And Sam walks in right behind us. He walked from the hotel over, but it was cute. But that was it.
So cool. I guess that's it, huh?
I guess that's it.
So try to keep it.
Well, you've got stuff you need to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got stuff to do
Work.
tonight. Work. Yeah. Well, I guess if that's it for this week. Use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East, College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Catch us online. Send us an email.
Brian at AndersonPens.net.
And Lisa at AndersonPens.net.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, other social media as Anderson Pens.
The blog is blog.andersonpens.net.
The website is AndersonPens.net.
There you go.
Join the mailing list and check out the blog for updates and new products or events in the store. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We will see you next week. Everybody have a good night.
Oh, wait.
Wait, there's more. Okay.
There is more. Stephanie, you are in trouble.
Absolutely, she's in trouble.
Next week, actually the end of this week, is the 1-year anniversary at the store. And we actually went to breakfast Monday morning at our favorite place, the Queen Bee. And we got in at like 7 in the morning, unloaded. We decided we were going to go to breakfast and then go home, take a nap, and then go back to the store and help Dave unpack. So we go to the Queen Bee, we come back, and Dave says, oh, this was, I guess it was when we came back after a nap. And he says, oh, somebody from the Queen Bee dropped this off for you. And it was a gift certificate to the Queen Bee. So thank you, Steph. It was awesome. So it was a little anniversary present. I can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. So
we can go next year. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So
anyway, now we can go.
Thanks for listening to the podcast. We will see you all next week. Have a good night.